Claviceps pepuria, the fungus in the rye. It's a fungal doppelganger and a fungal poisoner. It infects grasses, but its preferred host is rye. The fungus produces blackened resting structures in place of the grain, which look like the spur on the foot of a cockerel. They're called ergots and are packed full of toxic fungal compounds called alkaloids. For centuries, ergots were thought to be part of the developing floret and were never considered to be harmful. However, ingestion of ergot-contaminated grain or flour can have debilitating effects on humans and livestock, causing hallucinations, convulsions, gangrene and even death. Unbeknown to the people of the time, the ergot fungus and the toxic compounds it produces left a significant mark on human history. In the Middle Ages, ergotism swept through peasant farming communities of Europe. Referred to as St Anthony's fire after the monks of St Anthony, who became skilled in treating the condition with herbal remedies. It's also thought that consumption of ergot-contaminated flour resulted in the untimely sentencing to death of over 20 individuals accused of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials of 1692. And again, ergotism is implicated in the great fear that sparked the French Revolution of 1789. It was not until 1853 that the life cycle of Claviceps pepuria was first described, and subsequently the true devilishness of this fungus as a mimic and as a poisoner were revealed. Ergots that fell to the ground during the summer harvest will lie dormant in the soil over the winter months, coming to life in the springtime when rye plants begin to flower. Small lollipop-like protrusions consisting of a stalk and a head emerge from the ergot. Around the surface of each head or stroma are microscopic flask-shaped structures called perithecia. Within each perithecium are many sacs called asci, each sac containing 8 fungal spores. Once mature, the spores are propelled from the sacs and are carried by the wind, where they eventually land on developing rye florets. It's here that we see an incredible act of stealth and fungal mimicry. Fungal spores begin to germinate, avoiding triggering plant defences by masquerading as pollen grains, travelling down the style and into the ovary, following the path normally taken by pollen tubes during fertilisation. Upon reaching the ovary, the fungus gains access to the plant's vascular system, stealing nutrients for fungal growth. As the fungus grows, fungal tissue fills the ovary, eventually penetrating the ovule, and masses of spores are produced, which ooze from the rye floret within a sugary sap called honeydew. This is then collected by insects, which are attracted to the sugary spore-filled dew and transport it to other rye flowers in the vicinity, spreading the fungus further. Eventually spore production stops, and purple-black ergots are formed in place of grain. Those that drop to the ground will overwinter until spring, and the whole cycle will be repeated. Research into the alkaloids present in ergots revealed that they share structural similarity with natural neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, which has led to their controlled use in medicine. But probably the most well-known discovery emerging from ergot alkaloid research is LSD, a derivative that was synthesised by pure coincidence by a Swiss chemist called Albert Hofmann in the late 1930s. The recreational misuse of LSD fueled the psychedelic cultural revolution of the 1960s, and by the 1970s all research on the drug was stopped and LSD was banned as a therapeutic drug. 90 years on from its discovery, there's a resurgence of interest in the tailored use of LSD to treat conditions such as anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Claviceps pepuria is a fascinating fungus to study. It's both a fungal doppelganger and a fungal poisoner, and it's a fungus with a very tainted history. Understanding the biology of the fungus has helped us to mitigate the risk of ergot poisoning, and understanding the chemistry and pharmacology of ergot alkaloids has provided therapeutic drugs helping us to treat conditions such as migraine and Parkinson's disease, as well as leading to the discovery of LSD. With over 2.2 million fungi estimated to exist on Earth, Claviceps pepuria is just one of the many amazing fungi with an interesting story to tell.